So about 10 years ago, I was working with some business owners and doing some sales training and doing some marketing training. And when I was sitting there helping one lady in particular identify some goals for herself. And what I was thinking is, back to when I was back in high school, the first time somebody told me to set goals. I've told you this story before, but my guidance counselor said, set a goal. And I didn't know how to accomplish that goal. Now, the great thing is I put down that I wanted to be an honor roll student, and I became an honor roll student. I don't really know how, I just figured it out. So sometimes you don't need to have all the answers, but sometimes it makes it easier to stick with your goals if you have a tangible plan. And so what I've designed is a 5-step process to make your goals tangible and actionable. And so here they are. Number 1 is what gets measured gets done. So you have to turn your goal into a measurable increment, if you will. And I'll explain a metaphor on what that means. Number 2 is you have to start with the end in mind. When do you want to accomplish this goal? What's the date? Number 3 is you have to reverse engineer that goal. So you have to break that goal down incrementally backwards. And I'll share with you a metaphor on what I mean by that. Number 4 is you have to break it into actionable items. So if you're in sales, your actionable items are, what are you going to do every day to accomplish that goal? 20 phone calls, send out 20 emails, I'm going to film 2 videos, get content out, whatever those actionable items are. And then lastly is you have to use self-to-self measurement. See, they did a study of paraplegics that were able to walk again, and what they found is the ones that were sitting in the bed didn't look outside and say, look at all those people running and walking, I'm never going to be able to walk and run again. That's not what they did, even though that's what we do to ourselves in normal life. What they did is they said, hey, how do I wiggle my pinky toe? How do I wiggle my next toe? How do I wiggle the one that ate roast beef? Remember that? How do I flex my calf? How do I flex my leg? But they used what's called self-to-self measurement. And this is what you need to use every day and have accountability. And so in our business, we have self-to-self measurement, we have accountability. We have a 2-page sheet that we have to fill out, and then they send it to me, I review it, and then I debrief it on Monday with them. So what is that process? So let me give it to you if you wanted to lose weight. So let's say you wanted to lose 144 pounds, right? So when you want to lose weight, what measure gets done? 144 pounds. Now what you want to do is reverse engineer it. Start with the end in mind. Sorry, number 2 is start with the end in mind. So you go out 12 months, say, I want to do this in 12 months. Great. So now you got what gets measured gets done. You started with the end in mind. And now you want to reverse engineer it. So 144 pounds broken back 12 months is 12 pounds a month. And broken down on a weekly goal is only 3 pounds a week. So now you have a tangible goal that you can move towards. Now, what are your actionable increments that are going to help you lose that weight? The actionable increments are that you got to start walking for, aerobically for 30 minutes a day. You have to eat every 2.5 hours. You probably have to start measuring what you eat. Tablespoons have a little weight. And so then you can break down the actionable increments. And then lastly, self-to-self measurement. You have to have an accountability metric in there. Do you weigh yourself every week? One thing I do is I have in my phone my food for the day and things like that. So break down your goals into those 5 steps. What gets measured gets done. Start with the end in mind. Reverse engineer, work backwards, actionable increments, and self-to-self measurement.